Interesting. I always thought you was a soft goods person.
And we're back.
Hello, I'm Ryan Speaks Geek.
Oh, I'm David the Dead. Hello.
We're going to be doing a lot more videos together. Me and Dave have actually been friends for years, and we're both absolutely huge nerds, so it makes total sense to start actually doing stuff together, because we talk about what we're going to do in our videos pretty much exclusively with each other all the time anyway. So, yeah.
Yeah. Welcome to my room, Ryan. You've been here a few times before.
Yeah, it's like I've been here for the first time every time I come in here, though. There's always something to look at, and I knock over about 50% of everything you work hard to put up. So.
Yes, the struggles of a toy collector.
The Speaks Geek Menace. Episode 1.
Yeah. Right, so why are we here? What are we talking about today?
Hasbro's new reveals, the vintage reveals.
Yeah, so this was the Hasbro Pulse Fanstream from last week, so January, Wednesday 23rd-ish.
Ish.
Yeah. So they did a Star Wars show, mainly focusing on the vintage collection, which is great.
Yeah, nice to
I know
see.
there's always a bit of a struggle between vintage and Black Series and retro collection.
Yeah, let's not forget retro collection.
Yeah, no, retro will get its day again. But yeah, no
Coming
retro.
soon.
No retro this time. A couple of Black Series reveals, but we're going to be talking about 3 3/4 inch and the vintage collection.
Because we're keeping 375 alive.
Keep 375 alive.
You'll hear that more as time goes on.
And it was a good stream, I thought.
Yes, it was shorter than others, but to be honest, I don't have a problem with that.
No.
And don't want to get too much revealed at once and then have nothing for ages. I would rather frequent, shorter streams.
I feel the same way. Like, I don't need 10, 12 figures revealed at the same time. Keep it sort of drip feed throughout the year. You know, I'm not a massive fan of these long pre-order games, but yeah, if you just show me a few figures every now and then, I can't keep up with the ordering anyway. So yeah, and yeah, I guess we're gonna talk about what we have. Talk about what has been released, and not what hasn't been released, not what we want, but just talk about the figures that they've shown, and yeah, I guess our thoughts on it.
Yeah, I think the first thing we've got to start with, though, is the Cantina figure reveals. Like, obviously, we knew what they were coming, but obviously we got to see them in person, I guess, on camera for the first time. I was quite impressed, actually.
Yeah, so we've got some, like, prototypes, like, painted up, and, yeah, shown on display, and, yeah, they really do pop, don't they? Like, the Neighbour leads with the silver paint.
Yeah, the silver paint for now.
For now.
Because they said in the stream that that's not the shininess isn't going to be there. I think it was meant to be more matte and that's more gloss. Which I thought was a shame, because I actually thought that reminded me more of like the costume being made of like tinfoil, effectively. Which is what like in the actual thing it was. You know, like they're made of like those like heat blankets, you know, the thermal blankets or whatever.
I think they'll find a way though. Like obviously they don't do the chrome plating anymore, but they do some of the more sort of the protocol droids. Like they find a way to sort of shimmer it up a little bit.
Yeah,
so.
I still prefer shiny to shimmer.
Shiny to shimmer.
Yeah. That could be, if I ever get enough to do t-shirts, I'll be shiny. It's shiny versus shimmer.
But yeah, we had him. The tonicas look fantastic. They are well overdue, aren't they? Like
massively. They had pants as well. That's like a couple people have mentioned about this. Like you're so used to thinking them in these like singlets, but actually they've got like superhero pants.
Yeah.
Like they've got like the Superman style like pants on. I was just like, oh yeah. It's only sort of, I hadn't really thought about it too much.
No, there's not too many Star Wars figures that have pants on the outside, are there?
No. But yeah, it's a crazy galaxy. Anything can happen in the world of fashion. And then you've got, which I still can't believe, I spent my whole childhood referring to this character as Waha. Like,
Woo-her.
Yeah, Woo-her. Because any, Waha, as I figure that was available, was like a mail away, like Power of the Force 2 one. Which came with the droid control thing.
That's right. Which is a great accessory.
Yes. I absolutely loved that. So that was cool seeing him looking a bit more updated, because we've not had an updated Woo-ha. The problem is I'm in the habit of saying Woo-ha now. But we've not had an updated Woo-ha for... Is the Power of the Force 2 the last one?
So we got the Power of the Force 2, and then it got painted up, sort of dirtied up for the 30th anniversary.
Same mould.
Same mould, different arm, because I think one had a cup moulded in, and then one just had a.
Well, the canteen is all about cups. We've established there is a lot of cups.
More cups, but not many capes.
No. See, cups versus capes.
We need
Shimmer versus shiny.
We'll discuss all this and more in future podcasts, I'm sure. And then finally Greedo, and Greedo looks fantastic as well.
I'm still gutted he doesn't come with a charred head, except like swappable head. It sounds grim, I know, but like
especially when they're going to do a single release of him later on, aren't they? The card back for Greedo is the exclusive thing. The figure's actually going to get a re-release, but I think. Yeah, you mentioned this before, haven't you? Like about the charred sort of.
I don't know why I want a charred Greedo, but I do.
But there was a version, wasn't there? Like, was it the Power of the Force or a later release had the actual like bullet wound, didn't it? Like the laser blast.
The McClunky wound.
Yeah, underneath his face. Yeah, the McClunky. Oh my goodness. We're gonna keep this positive.
Yeah. The one thing I will say that I was genuinely a bit surprised and a little bit gutted they didn't do. I thought that the stretch goal, was it Sheev? No.
The Wolfman.
Yeah.
Arliel Shoes.
Yeah, I kind of thought maybe because they've done this thing recently, like with the Ghostbusters HasLab thing, where they've basically just gone like ditching the early bird, and I kind of was hoping, considering also he recently won a fan vote or came in the top 3, I think, of vintage figures they wanted. I thought maybe they might be like, we've done it anyway. As a thank you or something, maybe.
So March Madness is coming back around at the moment. So there's, as of filming, there's like a few days left to get your submissions in. Watching some live streams with the SW TVC guys. A lot of them are putting Arliel Shoes quite high up in their lists. I think he'll do very well in the sort of fan poll. So they've done the mould. They did a prototype. The Cantina's coming anyway. I'm sure. I'm an optimist when it comes to this sort of stuff. I was like, Hasbro will definitely do that, and it's a no-brainer, surely. I
hope so.
Yeah.
But I don't know. But the ones that they had did look fantastic, and the cups looked great. I'm gonna always come back to the cups because I like cups.
Everyone is gonna get a cup.
Everyone's gonna go. You're gonna get a cup. You're gonna get a cup.
Whether you're on the Death Star or Geonosis, you're all gonna get cups.
The Ghost of Yaddle will get a cup. Everyone's gonna get a cup. Yeah, where's our Force Ghost Yaddle actually? Where's that reveal? Still waiting for that one.
It's a little bit niche. I wouldn't say no to a Yaddle though.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so that was the Cantina figures, and then.
They did acknowledge the current HasLab, the Ghost, which was shipped in December, or was supposed to ship in December for everyone, but I appreciate some people still haven't received theirs. But yeah, they said obviously like they're doing all they can to make sure all orders are fulfilled. I don't know if they set up a hotline. I know Steve Evans has acknowledged it as well on his Instagram. It's a real shame because obviously. You were here when I got mine just before Christmas, and we were able to sort of unbox it, and it sort of felt like Christmas in a way.
It's so good.
And then seeing everyone else's ghosts over the holiday period, so to know that people still haven't got theirs is a bit of a shame.
I've been here for like 2 of your HasLab deliveries now, like the Ghost and obviously the Razor Crest. Yeah. So I'm gonna have to book some time off in the canteen. Yeah. Doesn't look at it to paying for one, but we'll just live vicariously through Dave.
I just want to acknowledge the Hasbro team because it was Jing in marketing. We had Emily and Chris, who we're very familiar with on the vintage collection side, and then Hope also from marketing. I think it's a good panel. I think the way they talk, you can see the passion when they're doing their live streams. Just want to acknowledge them. And then they said it was a smaller reveal this month, but they're going to try and do more throughout the year, sort of more regular, sort of catching up. So there might be another fan stream in February, which is good.
I think so as well, especially with this whole as we're leading up to the Cantina being released, and obviously the return to Tatooine is the theme this year. There's the core theme this year. Obviously there's other figures being revealed as well. I think we'll get that picture, that diorama picture, more and more filled in, and I think a lot of these live streams will be maybe doing like one at a time until we get that whole picture. There's still a lot of clues in there that everyone's like really like overanalyzing. Like, you know, but that footprint is at a 45-degree angle. Only one alien can do this. Whistleear or whatever it is.
Yeah. Oh man, there's so many possibilities. It's gonna have to be for another
That's
chat.
a whole nother video.
Tatooine, yeah. Okay, so let's get into the reveals then. So there were 4 single carded figure releases revealed. Let's get into the first 2. So we got Baylan Skoll and Shin Hati, and
Finally,
yeah.
Not in a mean way, but like, let's be honest, fan favourites from the series. As much as everyone was happy to see Sabine, Ezra, Ahsoka, Hera, and all that, but I kind of feel like them two became like.
Well, we never get enough villains.
Yeah.
In the action figure world. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we had to wait a long time for Krennic. We still don't have Jarden Voss from Solo. So to get Baylan and Shin, and together as well, like obviously single carded releases, but they're going to be in the same wave. Yeah, I mean, I've got my thoughts. What were your initial thoughts? I know you're a retro collection or vintage Kenner collection.
This is the thing. So I enjoy the vintage collection because I come around here and enjoy it.
You enjoy it through like this.
So whereas I get all the retro and the third party stuff and things like that, you know. So between us, we have a complete collection almost, except for Black Series. We don't do Black Series, sorry. But I thought they looked fantastic. I thought the moulding on them was really good. I thought the actor likeness was really good. It's hard to tell articulation-wise. It looks like they'll be good because I'm still not sure about this moulded, the front cape dress thing. I don't know what you want to call it, like I mean, kilt part maybe. But
the promo images they showed, like they got them into every pose you could want, I think. And I think we had it with like the Darth Vader from Rogue One, had like moulded plastic sort of a tunic, but he was still able to have those dynamic poses. Unless you want to stick them on a howler, I think I quite like the soft goods over. No, sorry, the hard plastic, soft plastic over soft goods where possible. Yeah, I mean both have their places without a doubt, but yeah, I'm gonna just have mine on like in some kind of
on a sort of mountain maybe, looking over.
Oh, just
because he does that thing where he just looks over, doesn't he? He's always looking at something. But
I mean, particularly Baylan Skoll, the likeness, the head sculpt is just spot on. Considering we're not going to see Ray Stevenson in each series, I think it's quite a fitting tribute.
Have him immortalised in plastic.
Whereas Shin Hati, the likeness it's not quite there. I think she's got quite striking features, isn't she? The eyes and but she'll get opportunities in later seasons. Hasbro they'll revisit that figure. I'm sure they will.
And since he's being recast, it will be interesting to see in the future if they do if they'll do the update with them. Cannot remember the actor's name, but basically, as most people will still go back to. Some people say the Hound. I still go Hot Fuzz.
Oh,
so I'll still be like Yarp, Narp.
Yeah.
You know, it'll be interesting to see if they do an updated likeness to reflect the two different actors or not. But it's nice that they haven't gone straight to that, and it is. They said it's him, like immortalised.
Yeah.
Sort of like weirdly sad, actually. Kind of like.
Oh no! It is. Yeah. The card back looks great as well. For those that will be keeping theirs carded, I've weaned myself off outside of the original trilogy, but the card backs do look good. I think the characters really pop on those lighter backgrounds. I think the only nitpick for me is that we're not getting the cloaks, but that's just a reason for Hasbro to revisit at some point.
If not, I think the episode 1 Sith accessory pack is still readily available on eBay. Now it has a very good black cloak with it, so once again saved by the Phantom Menace.
Well, yeah, that's it. You can always go back to what they've released previously. I'm just seeing them.
So we've got it going on slightly in the background as well, just so. But the cards, you're right, they do look good. 355 and 356. Are we really up to that number now?
Yeah, it's mad.
That is insane.
I mean, it's the longest running line that Hasbro have done, isn't it, for Star Wars? Even with a break in the middle. When you think they bought it back in 2018, so this is we're now in 2025. Like that's a long time to be sticking with one line. I'm kind of amazed that it's still going. I mean, I can see why it's still going because it's that definitive packaging and.
Isn't it funny though that it's the definitive packaging, but it was started at the beginning of Star Wars. Like, you know, it's right there with the first figures, the first Kenner. That is still the preferred packaging.
Yeah.
And even like a new generation who didn't get any of the vintage figures originally are still like, yeah, that's the definitive. Having that silver box and having the title of the show or film that it's from in.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And it's weird how like there's a nice continuity to it. As much as I am partial to some of my Power of the Force 2, or I know you're not a big fan of the Revenge of the Sith packaging, but I absolutely loved it.
That threw me right out at the time.
It's like fire at Darth Vader's face. It's like, yes.
I think because it followed on from like the Saga line at the time, which threw back to the racetrack.
Oh, the
design,
blue, wasn't it?
The blue, yeah. And then the original trilogy collection sort of.
I liked that one actually.
Yeah.
I did like that one, the Black Starfield and
yeah,
ray tracing.
So the Revenge of the Sith packaging was such a departure, and I get why they did it.
It was such a toy.
Marketing.
It was a toy line, yeah.
It really was a toy line. They had action features and
everything. It sliced, it diced, it made noises, it lit up, it fell in parts deliberately. But
and 20 years later, I'm now trying to get everything that I slept on.
You're a prequel man now, Dave.
Yeah. Come on. Yeah.
The next figure then that got revealed was the Super Commando.
The Mandalorian Super Commando, yes.
With the amazing Maul horns.
Yes.
Are they made of Beskar?
Oh,
that's a deep question.
What? Just the horns?
Yeah, like if you know in the comments, like are they like? Feel free to say, but like, is it like a Beskar helmet with like ports that they then put horns into? Are the horns made of Beskar?
Or are they real horns?
Oh. Yeah, if you know, let us know, because now we're going down a rabbit hole. But the figure itself,
the figure looks great. Yeah, I mean, obviously it's a kit bash of the previous Mandalorian that they did in the Clone Wars line. So we got one with horns, we got a grunt, and we got one in the sort of blue armor as well. We've had so many Mandalorians over the last few years. I'm not saying that I won't be picking this up because it does look great, but there's not a whole lot to say about it other than it's got a bit of different paint deco. And
would you troop build it?
No. I'm not much of a troop builder anyway. I'll pick up the odd stormtrooper, as and when I see them. I'm not one of these people. I can't go out and buy a case of a single figure. I just don't have. I don't have the budget. Don't have the space. And in certain cases, they get they tweak, don't they, with rocker ankles or something slightly off with every release. So yeah, I won't be troop building. I'll certainly be picking one up. Yeah.
Just maybe one? Yeah, there we go. At least a pair, maybe. Might be have a pair. Well, on the note of troop building then, because I mean, that's done and dusted the Commando. We've so that obviously got the 501st Clone Trooper. That was a...
Oh, no, yeah. It looks great. It's obviously the current Clone Trooper mould, which was introduced last year or the end of the year before. So they don't have the skinny legs anymore. The proportions are a lot better. Although it's weird because obviously we didn't see live action clones in the prequels. They were all CGI.
Yeah.
So the figures of the live action clones sort of don't quite line up with how I remember them as in my head, but they are better proportioned all round.
I suppose we saw live action clones obviously in Ahsoka. Yeah. Being the first time we've seen it.
Well, we've got them in Ahsoka, Andor, and Obi-Wan, haven't we?
Yes.
And Obi-Wan is obviously the card back for this 501st Trooper. Obviously, it's part of the storm of the Jedi Temple at the end of Revenge of the Sith, the Order 66. I mean, what thoughts on clones in general?
I really like the sort of clones. I think it's a difficult one with clones because it's a troop builder, but because of the Clone Wars series, I now think of every clone as individual, weirdly. So it's not like a stormtrooper. A stormtrooper's a stormtrooper. Clone trooper, I'm like, oh, is it Fives? Is it Jesse? Is it Echo? Is it, Lefty? Is it, Carl? Like, I don't know. Dan from accounting. Like, it could be any clone under there. But they've gone... I've noticed as well that they've not got the removable helmet now.
No.
I
like that. I mean, there's somewhere... It would be nice to have a swappable head and helmet. I think just sometimes it just doesn't work, does it? You can get oversized helmets.
They did that with the Sabine figure recently, didn't they? They went for the swappable head rather than a helmet.
Yeah.
which probably works a bit better, I would imagine, as long as you can still get the figure to hold the swappable head, like a helmet. I think would be the compromise.
Yeah, so the one we got for Rebels, had the swappable helmet, the 2-pack with Chopper, but the Ahsoka release of Sabine had the head was just the helmet was so oversized that
No, it looks odd. It looks like a Funko Pop.
Yeah.
But yeah, the clones in general, I think they're good army builders. The 501st one, I'm surprised it's getting a single card new release. I would have thought I'd see it in the white boxes.
Well, it has had a white box release.
Did not know that. I have not done my research.
So this clone came out in the white box 4-pack with I want to say a 3-2 whatever Ahsoka's clone.
Oh, the mask painted on.
So you got one of them, one of the 501st, and a couple of like the regular sort of white armored clones.
Oh,
so
actually, we saw that at the Hasbro event.
We did see that at the Hasbro event.
I have seen it. I'm just totally lying.
So the mold's going to get used and reused, isn't it? Like, and which is fine because that's
Battle Troop next.
Yeah, the 212th. Would like to see some 327
maybe
Star Corps.
Commander Gree.
Yeah.
So just off the top of my head.
Some more shock troopers would be nice, and then
with the new Senate pod.
Yeah, you need a properly scaled Senate pod.
That would be good. Hasbro. So that was it for the single cards.
Yes. So then we went on to some Black Series. So they did Anakin and a Phase 1 Rex. Again, no shade on the Black Series. Just don't collect it.
Not for us.
And then the last release was one of these white box 4-packs.
Roger.
The B1 Battle Droid.
Yes, which I think is been long overdue.
Yes.
That was you said I'm sure about. There was a yes. Do you not think?
Yeah,
it's a new mold, isn't it?
No, well, it's not. So it's
or is it a hybrid?
It's a partial new mold. So it's new legs, and so it's an old figure already.
Okay.
But they've reinforced the legs, so it's going to be sturdier.
Got metal pins in.
Maybe. But what they haven't done, and this could have been the definitive battle droid, but what stops it from being a definitive for me is that it can't hold its blaster in. It can't have this pose.
Oh, the sort of the classic battle droid.
Two-handed sort of blaster pose. You're gonna have to have it like arms stretched out like this, and I don't remember battle droids holding their blasters like this. So close, and
Okay, I can see your point. Actually, this is why the Power of the Jedi security droid is, I still think, my absolute favourite mold of a battle droid.
Yeah,
it always has been because it comes in that pose, but especially with the red colours and everything. But I thought like that one, I'd be happy just to have that repainted. Do you think you would have liked it if it was like two that hadn't those moulded arms, and then maybe two that were straight? Would you be okay with that?
You could possibly even just swap out an arm piece. If the plastic is too thin that they can't put in that added articulation, then maybe give it a swappable arm or two different arms, maybe possibly, or have one where the arm is sort of at an angle. I don't know what the answer is, but it's strange that after 25 plus years of this character being in action figure form, I don't think there's one that can claim to be a definitive release. Like even now, like
it's close there in the video we got on in the background. There's the one on the left and the press images. It's close.
It feels like there's a bit of manipulation, a bit of sort of the way the photography's being done, so that it's kind of shot at an angle, so it kind of makes it seem like the arms can be sort of bent that way. But yeah,
I think the worry would be about bending it too much and then it sort of warping if you left it in there.
Yeah. But no, I mean it's a good. It makes sense to do the battle droids as a 4-pack without a doubt. 3 grunts and a new 9. Whether you just want 4 grunts and have a new 9 separately, I don't know. But I'm pleased they are coming back out as a sort of troop builder set because, like you say, it makes sense. It is overdue to have them in this sort of set. I think they were just so close to
perfection. Yes. But the good thing about this though is that now they've got this new sort of hybrid mold, opens the way for like the pilot battle droid, the security droid as mentioned, Then you've got the red rust coloured droids.
Yeah.
You know, there's so many ones, and they did those weird Revenge of the Sith ones. Do you remember? It was
Like
like
the
camo
camo
droid. And...
Yeah. 20th anniversary Hasbro. Let's get those out.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to see, especially the pilot droids sort of with the blue markings that you see on the invisible hand, because we haven't really had them. We've had sort of Clone Wars interpretations of them, like the animated sort of style ones, but not really had a definitive sort of pilot droid.
And they're in the film. Yeah,
They're pretty prominent. Like, and you see quite a few of them on the bridge. So yeah.
My first one was with the scout tank, which was like a mini 80. You know?
Yes.
They were fixed in arms like this.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
But
so they have done them with blue markings, but not quite.
Just this own thing.
Yeah.
That'd be cool to see though. I like that they've got the two different options for the backpack as well.
Yeah.
Rather than like just a fixed backpack, or you can have it like with the aerial option instead. I think it's quite nice.
Yeah, it makes sense to be able to swap them out. And knowing that they've revisited this mold recently means that they'll probably want to, and I don't mean this in a cynical way, but they'll probably want to get their money's worth out of the sculpt. So we've seen with the Imperial officer Buck, like, we're going to get a bunch of them. The Mandalorians, obviously, we're getting a lot of them. The Clone Troopers, Stormtroopers. I think we'll see a variety of battle droids over the next 18 months to 2 years, maybe. Yeah.
Which I'm very happy about. My big question though is, how well do they fold? Because as a kid, I don't know why, I was always obsessed with how well they folded. So like the episode one didn't fold like amazing.
No,
but, like it was pretty close.
This mold. Oh well, I don't know about the new leg. Maybe the new legs will hinder it slightly.
That's what I'm interested to see.
Yeah,
like...
certainly the previous vintage collection version, of which this is mainly based on. Yeah, it does fold down quite well. It's not completely screen accurate to like the way they fold in, but yeah, no, they can definitely
love that
crouch
scene
down.
when they all come up and all the heads go.
Yeah.
MTT just gave us like standing robot ones, which I'm still glad we have an MT2, but maybe that'll get re-released. It won't get re-released.
No, but I mean, just the fact that we even got it in the first place was pretty cool. The MTT. I mean, they made so much back then, didn't they?
No pipeline reveals as well. Which
no,
I don't feel like I need pipeline reveals, to be honest. I quite like just finding out what we're getting when it's there.
There's a lot that has been pipelined already, isn't there? So we know that it's sometimes it can be a good thing and a bad thing, because it takes the sort of surprise out. You know, with the reveals that they showed last week, these were all pipeline figures, so you know that it's just a case of what will they look like. But when they're pipelining a figure like a 501st, or if they're pipelining a figure that you know has already had a release, that kind of, there's no surprise there anyway, because you know exactly what it's going to look like. You just have to wait a bit longer to see it, and then even longer to pre-order and all the rest of it.
I kind of think I want to go back to like a YouTube version, or like a reveal version of like what the leaflets used to get out of the figures or the boxes were.
Yeah.
You know, I'd like to go and stream, and it's like 2 things that were pipeline maybe, and then 2 things like, haha, weren't expecting this. But maybe even some smoke like bomb like effects
Maybe.
I might be asking a bit much though. Sorry guys. But I think it's a good reveal. I think it's a good format to do less in one video and maybe a bit more frequency, and keeping a update on the HasLabs progression as well, like in its sort of towards being actually sent out. So I think that's a nice way of doing it.
So that was it for this fan stream. If there's going to be another one coming next month, I don't want to speculate too far in the future, and we probably need to trim this video down, but we didn't see any retro collection in January.
We know they're coming.
We know there's some pipelines coming, and more than likely in the 6-pack. But yeah, I mean, what are your hopes for retro going forward?
Retro going forward, I'd like to continue with those characters that were made from the films. I controversially quite like the original trilogy era type stuff, even like from the series being made into retro. I would like to be away from the 6-packs. I understand why they're doing the 6-packs, but I think now that Steve's sort of leading the retro ship, as it were, I think it will get back more on track to what I think the original concept for it was, which was, your Y-wing pilots, your Mon Mothmas, General Tarkin, Sand Troopers, Rebel Fleet, ones that were prominently in the film but just didn't get made.
It does seem like it's in safe hands with Steve Evans at the wheel. Like that's kind of
In Steve, we believe.
it was a bit of a passion project for him, wasn't it? The retro collection, and I get why they do the 6-packs, but it makes it less accessible to people that just want to dip in, test one out. Certainly for me, I'm kind of out of it at the moment because I don't really want a 6-pack of Acolyte or 6-pack of Phantom Menace. I did want a 6-pack of the Return of the Jedi, but that's
that's extremely expensive now.
Yeah,
that could do with a second release. Really, to be honest.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we'll see what happens. But I've got a lot of hope. I think we might hopefully see something, at least maybe one of them, potentially in a reveal in a few months' time. At least maybe just a moulding or a sort of sculpt or something.
Yeah.
But hopefully, that and vintage can live happily alongside each other. Because the diorama playsets work really well with the vintage figures.
They do, yeah. I have no problem with vintage and retro running side by side. Not at all. I whether they share the same tooling budget, I don't know. It's the kid friendly lines that I wish they'd just keep in that 3 3/4 inch format.
We'll talk about the Epic Hero series another video.
Yeah, sorry. What was the title of this video again?
Yeah,
right, another time. All right. Well,
cool.
Yeah, that's been really fun.
Yeah. Tune in soon because we'll be doing it more.
All right, guys. Yeah, no. If you've enjoyed watching, please drop a like. Please subscribe. Whichever channel this is going out on, I expect it will be on Ryan Speaks Geek. But if it's on David Dead, then come check us out. There'll be links below or up here or there. And comment below. What did you think of the live stream? What were your highlights? What did you want to see? What do
you want to see next?
Yeah. All right.
Bye.